Hello everyone, this is Chadi Alraies from SCAI 2022. With me is Dr. Jon George from Pennsylvania Hospital. Today he did a phenomenal presentation and program about venous disease for interventional cardiologists. John, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Chadi.
So as you saw, venous disease, VTE as well as PE is kind of advancing for interventional cardiologists, and today was a session highlighting that. Can you walk us through it?
Yeah, absolutely. This was a fabulous session, just encompassing all of what you just said on the venous frontier, and I think it's the next frontier for interventional cardiologists. As you know, we've involved ourselves in the coronary space and the peripheral arterial space, and now the venous space hasn't seen a lot of developments, and now we're moving forward and learning a lot about this disease state. That includes superficial venous disease, deep venous disease, DVTs, venous thromboembolic disease with PEs. And so this was a session that focused on each of those aspects.
My question is, why all of a sudden now we are going to that space? Is it because the need and demand, or is it because the technology kind of opened that for us?
Well, it's both, right? And the technology comes after there is a need for it. And what we knew very little about this space. There's very little research, very little data up until recently, and we're in that process where we're developing the data in that space. And so as we learn more about it, technology follows. And I think that's true from the superficial venous side and on the deep venous side. You're right about technologies in that space for DVTs and PEs. We've had a huge inflow into the market of new technologies, and as we get smaller caliber catheters that can do a lot more in this space, dedicated stents, all of these will help advance the field.
As you know, the SCAI focus also on fellow training. So how does fellow get trained in these if they have interest in venous? Do they go to different programs, or this is embedded into a peripheral program?
Yeah, so currently it's embedded in a peripheral program. I trained when there was no training on venous disease, and this is something I picked up and learned in practice. And I think our fellows are fortunate that they have training in this at many programs now, and more importantly, it's getting the spotlight at forums such as this in big interventional cardiology conferences. So there is an emphasis because there's a need for it. Until we have operators doing these procedures and gathering data, we won't have enough to train the future generation. So doing more of these sessions like this that are educational, but also we learn from each other, and then training fellows at fellows courses on venous disease is critical.
As you know, SCAI coming up with a toolkit or ebook for different technologies, structural and vascular access. Maybe that would be the next book for SCAI.
Absolutely, there's a need for it.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. Thanks again. Congrats for a great session. Please watch this video and others on SCAI-TV. This is Chadi Alraies from SCAI 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.